All right, everybody, welcome back to another legacy video here on Magic Online. I am the Semiotician, and today we are going to play some more Turbo Doomsday. Um, I got I don't really take requests, but I got a request to try out Wakame's list that has 3 misdirections in it. And that's something that I've been wanting to try out anyways, particularly misdirection. So yes, I'm not taking requests, but I am going to fulfill this request because it's something I wanted to do anyways. Now the only issue is that I'm just not dropping another 60 tickets on a second Quantum Riddler. I bought one in paper. I bought one on here. I'm not buying another one on here. I'm hoping the price drops eventually. I know that Wakame is playing 2 Quantum Riddlers and only 2 Cyclers in their deck. And I just don't want to drop the tickets now, right? Like, what if some other crazy Doomsday card gets spoiled soon and I need to buy like a Spider-Man or something? I need to put Peter Parker in my Doomsday deck, like, fuck me, huh? So I apologize that it can't be exactly Wakame's list. But yeah, we're going to basically just try out the deck that I've been playing before. The same sideboard. I wanted to cut Manamorphose. I haven't actually got to use Manamorphose yet, and I'm thinking I'm just going to put a bloody Hydroblast in for now. They were on like Barrogoyfs. Do we want a Barrogoyf today? We could Barrogoyf today in the sideboard, but I kind of want to keep trying out the Flusterstorms, Duresses, Force of Negations. I cut the Thoughtseize. I cut a land down to 15, and I cut the third Street Wraith for 3 misdirections. So we're just going to play like the kind of mono blue interaction suite. I don't know, like, personally how I feel about this, but I do really like the idea of misdirecting a Thoughtseize back of my Reanimator opponent's face. And so I'd like to, try maxing out on the 3 misdirections like Wakame, and we will see how it unfolds. I admit that this is greedy to play Cavern of Souls with 15 lands. Probably if you're playing 15 lands, this should just be the 9th fetch land. But I also do believe that we want Cavern of Souls in the main deck, despite how nice and clean the mana base looks without it. I ran 15 lands like this at my locals on Thursday night, and it went well. I basically played the deck as you see it here, except I only played 2 misdirections and 1 Thoughtseize, which also does strike me as like pretty awesome. So the reason I like having at least 1 Thoughtseize is that, like, there's sometimes you get a hand where you have a Doomsday and you have a Personal Tutor in your hand, and it is kind of nice to, like, turn 1 Personal Tutor, put Thoughtseize on top of your deck. Not sure if that's like a really good play. It's not something that you do often, but it is something you have access to when you have 1 Thoughtseize in your deck. But let's just try the misdirections. I don't even care if we just go 0-5. Never played with the misdirections before, so we'll see how 4 Cyclers, 1 Quantum Riddler with some extra interaction in the form of misdirection plays out today with a slightly greedier mana base. Yeah, thank you everybody for coming along on this wild ride with me. I really love reading all of your thoughtful comments. I'm learning so much about the deck from making these videos, and especially from making mistakes while playing Doomsday, and either like noticing them myself or having others point them out for me. So this is what I'm trying to say is that I am happy to be making Doomsday content and trying to learn how to master this extraordinarily difficult deck. I went 3-1 at my locals with the Doomsday deck on Thursday. I lost to Mystic Forge. I beat White Black Death, like, I don't know, White Black Dead Guy Ale is probably closer to how you would describe the variation that this person's playing these days. And then I beat Necro Dominance combo, and I beat Cephalid Breakfast. The Forge match was very close. I actually lost because Force of Negation. You can't cast Force of Negation on your own turn, which is something that I've been kind of disliking about Force of Negation. Force of Will is so much better than Force of Negation in this format. We can't keep this hand. We just can't. It's got 3 Doomsdays, no lands, obviously. It's not even in the realm of considering. This is a turn 2 Doomsday. Turn 2 Doomsday with Daze back up. We're on the play. It's not bad. Question is Street Wraith better than Quantum Riddler? Do we want to try Riddling or Wraithing? I think I want to just Wraith. I think I'm just going to bottom the Riddler. Just keep the Wraith in my hand. I don't know. Maybe that's crazy. Maybe that's wrong. Opponent's on a Mully to 5. Let's hope they're not doing anything too egregious and that this Daze is enough. I think we'll play out the Petal in case they're like a Chalice of the Void on 0 kind of deck. They paused for a good while there. Now let's put Doomsday on top and pass. You might say that Riddler's better than Street Wraith in this particular spot because it's almost guaranteed to let us draw 2 cards, but I do kind of like having access to the Wraith here. Now the question is, like, our Doomsday is just not going to protect us. And so if this fails, like, of course we would like to have access to Quantum Riddler to start, like, going back up on cards. I'm going to fire this. They haven't cast any library manipulation. They're on a mull to 5. And yeah, it just resolves. We don't quite know what they're playing. We've got this Daze. They could Entomb Reanimate us. I think we just build a simple... we're going to go to 9. A simple Cavern Oracle pile. Oracle on the bottom. Cavern on top of Oracle. Edge, Wraith. We put the Wraith on top because if they Bowmaster us, we can like use our Wraiths with the Bowmaster on the stack to preserve a little bit of damage, but I suppose we can also just Daze an Orcish Bowmaster. Let's see if they're going to Entomb us here. And I think if they Entomb us, we might even just let it resolve. Hopefully they can't kill us through a Daze. Okay, so they're not showing us what they're playing. Okay. I think there we just put the Doomsday on the stack. I mean, the Daze wasn't going to help, but like it would help if they had something like a Spell Pierce. And they mulled to 5. They didn't cast a Ponder to look for anything. And so like the likelihood of them having Force isn't off the charts. The question is, what does Bloodstained Mire mean? I kind of want to say it's Reanimator, but you know, I could be wrong about that. I don't know that we want to sideboard too crazily here. Presumably, like Duresses and Flusterstorms, like these are the cards that I would want if it was indeed Reanimator. What would we be cutting against Reanimator? Like if that's what we were doing, we would be cutting Force of Wills, probably. So I don't like 2-for-1ing myself against these blue decks. Misdirection still seems pretty sweet. Days on the draw, maybe we could trim. But again, it's like, do we want to be cutting our Force of Wills against an unknown opponent? I might just hedge a little bit and bring in like a couple Flusters and a couple Duresses. Replace a couple of those. I mean, if they are a Bowmaster deck, going down 1 Street Wraith doesn't strike me as a crazy thing. And then maybe Pact of Negation's also not worth it here. This isn't like this is just kind of like hedging sideboarding. So like, because I don't really know what our opponent's playing, but we'll just bring in a couple of different interaction spells and see how it unfolds. I don't mind cutting forces against these blue-black decks personally, just because I really don't like 2-for-1ing myself. I think Flusterstorm and Duress are pretty potent 1-for-1 answers. But yeah, this could be like, I don't know what, like this could be any number of things, right? So yeah. We'll adjust accordingly. Hopefully cutting the Street Wraith isn't bad news bears. Okay, what have we got here? No Doomsday. Opponent's on a mull to 6. We've got a Flusterstorm, a Thassa's Oracle, a Brainstorm. The Brainstorm's kind of like really important for this hand, isn't it? Whereas if it gets Thoughtseize, that's like super bad. I might mull this. This hand's kind of even worse than the other one. I'm going to mull it too. Oh, this hand's a little bit better. I think we bottom Edge of Autumn Personal Tutor. And yeah, let's see what our opponent's up to here. Wooded Foothills. Okay, so yeah, really no clue what they're up to. Do I want to ponder here? I could also just fetch and surveil. Wasteland would be like kind of annoying if we ponder, so I think I'm just going to pass. Really have no clue what opponent's up to, but I guess they're not playing like Blue-Black Reanimator with Wooded Foothills in their deck. Commercial District. Could this be Storm? This could be Ad Nauseam or like the Epic Storm perhaps, or not maybe? Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, our misdirections suck. We have... This could be a Force of Will. Is there anything we could foresee misdirecting out of this opponent? I guess we're drawing... I guess we're going super slow here, folks. Well, this is brought to us by complete sideboarding. We brought in like all cards that suck against Chalice of the Void. We cut cards that are good against Chalice of the Void. Well, we want to shuffle. And go into the sewer here. Jace, Wielder of Mysteries. I'll probably put that into the graveyard. Flusterstorm. Incredible. All right, let's cast Doomsday. Thank God I didn't cut all of the Force of Wills, eh? Are they going to try to chalice us on 2? I mean, if they chalice us on 2, we can just force it. Then we can, like, edge, 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 Oracle. And I guess we'll just have to make, like, an imperfect pile. Oh, no. This time we go Cavern on the bottom, Oracle on top, followed by Edge, Edge, Force. And pass the turn. Let's see if they want to, like, Minsk and boo us or something. Seeking the Beast. Sure. What did they hit off that? Ancient Tomb, Wooded Foothills. What is opponent playing? I love it. They probably just have a bunch of Pyroblasts in their hand. I guess we can beat Pyroblast with Flusterstorm as well, hilariously. So I need to pitch Ponder. The Storm trigger will still happen. Are we just geniuses for boarding in Flusterstorm? Probably not. Probably not. Okay. We just got to hope they don't have like 2 spells, right? Well, Street Wraith, Float Blue, Edge, Float Blue, Edge, Cast Oracle. Oh, I guess they can't blast us because of Chalice either. This is Endurance, I guess. All right. Well, we mis-sideboarded. It did not matter, thankfully. Our opponent could have very easily run us over and punished us super hard with the way that we mulliganed there, but that's the kind of thing, right? Like, sometimes at Doomsday, if you don't even know what your opponent's doing, like, the deck works, you know, when you don't sideboard. And so sometimes you can actually make your deck worse by sideboarding like we did there, for example. This hand kind of looks scattered to me, and I don't really like it. I'm going to mulligan. This hand also looks like a steaming pile of garbage, so I'm going to mulligan. Holy guacamole. This hand also sucks, but this is a 5, so we'll keep. Let's bottom Thassa's Oracle, and I guess Edge of Autumn. But yeah, we've lost this game, I can assure you. We would need the Miracle Dark Ritual off the top of our deck, I guess, and let's not almost just skip through our turn while we're talking either. Grim Monolith, you say? Yeah, we're not equipped to fight against that old chestnut. Days, huh? Oh, this sucks. Wish I had that Days for their Grim Monolith. Maybe I shouldn't have even played this pedal. I don't know why I'm playing it. I should just be concealing information and passing. Now they know that we're up to no good. I don't like that play. Sorry. Don't do that, I don't think. Eye of Ugins. This is Eldrazi, huh? Glaring Fleshy Boy. Well, we're so dead. We are so dead here. This has to be like a 4-drop exactly for us to daze. Please be a 4-drop exactly for us to daze. One more. Never lucky, huh? All right. Oof. Yeah, our hands were not good hands. I don't think I want to play Misdirection in my Doomsday deck. A lot of fun playing against a bunch of Chalice of the Void decks. So with Eye of Ugin, this is like actual factual Eldrazi. Oh, well, we can daze this one, I guess. Command into command, huh? All right. Never lucky. All right, let's play Underground Sea and pass. Maybe they just have nothing. Maybe they just have nothing. Line breaker. Yep. So they're attacking for 4 here. I Doomsday to 7. I guess I just gotta hope that they don't have another creature in their hand. That's all we can do, right? I pitched the Pact of Negation, which sucks. So we want Quantum Riddler. Riddler will draw us into LED plus Edge of Autumn, which will draw us into Jace. Draw Riddler for turn. Riddler. Yeah, I really wish we could have a Force of Negation here. Or sorry, Pact of Negation, but we just don't. Maybe we just die to Kozilek's command the way that I've made this too. If this is a creature, we're dead. All right. Against Eldrazi. Well, this is why we play Cabal Rituals. So we want those. We want 4 Force of Negation against Eldrazi, I believe. There's a potential world where Vision Charm's fine. Against Eldrazi, we most certainly do not want Misdirection. Against Eldrazi, we might not want our dazes. Like that many dazes in. They might play Mind Break Trap. I think that's fine. What if we just go like this? Sort by a mana value. Submit. So we just go up a little bit more on our rituals. Trim down on some of our dazes. This hand's looking for Doomsday. It's got the Oracle already in hand, but it's got a Force of Will. I'm going to keep this hand. It's not the best hand. We haven't seen the best hands in this league thus far. We've got a means to cast our Doomsday. We just need to find our Doomsday. I'm going to lead on Undercity Sewers here. OP's on a mull to 6. They're going to love to see our opener here, which is just Undercity Sewers. Albottom Island. Cavern of Souls. Lotus Petal. Null Rod, you say? Sure. Looks like we're not making petal piles. Think I just pass here? Well, no, let's consider, because if we hit like Ponder... Oof, this is a bit sketch. Dark Ritual, okay. Eldrazi Temple, go. Doomsday? Never lucky, huh? Or we can Pact of Negation, then pay for Pact with Ritual as well. What's this? Cause Command. Yeah, we're not countering Cause Command. The fact that I can't counter their creatures, though, is, like, really bad. Maybe... Attack for 5, huh? We're so dead. This thing have Trample, too. I'm just going to play out Oracle here. Okay, we'll put Doomsday on top. That's good. I don't know if we're going to have enough life to play with here. We do not want to see Thought-Knot Seer here. Thought-Knot Seer would spell disaster. Exile target creature, huh? They're tapped out. I think we can still just win with Jace, right? I think this should be fine. I could be wrong about this. Oh, maybe it's not fine. I should probably read how these cards work, huh? This is going to put me to 8. Huh. Draw Doomsday. They're tapped out. We just got to hope they don't have Mindbreak Trap, or maybe Mindbreak Trap doesn't work. Fetch Delta, go to 6. Doomsday to 3. Fetch Delta, Dark Ritual, Cabal Ritual, Doomsday, Cycle, Jace, Mill 2, draw. I think this should work, right? Cycle, Jace target me, Mill Ponders, draw a card. And we have Pact of Negation. So Ponder on the bottom, Ponder on the bottom, Jace on top, Edge of Autumn, Cycle Street Wraith, blue, Cycle Edge, cast Jace, plus Jace. All right. That was very close for comfort. That was pretty close for comfort. Do we want Vision Charm for Disruptor Flute? We very well might. I don't know if these Eldrazi decks tend to play Vision Charm or Disruptor Flutes, but perhaps we put them in there just to be safe. I'm keeping Cavern of Souls, by the way, in case they chalice us on 2. And I don't really want to go to 14 lands, but we'll see. Eldrazi's an interesting matchup for Doomsday. You would think it should be easy, but I don't know. Sometimes that's just not the case. This looks like a hand of Magic the Gathering cards that I'm satisfied to keep. And so we shall. Opponents on the play here. Chalice on 0. Oof. We could just brainstorm away these artifacts, but these artifacts are kind of really... I hope they don't also have Chalice on 1. Okay. I don't like burning my card like that, but if they have Null Rod, that I mean, I don't think they Chalice on 0 if they have Null Rod in their hand, right? I'll ponder here. Ugh. This island is killing me. Is this an any order shuffle? Or do we want to take these cards? I think I'm going to make the greedy play here of any order shuffling. Nice. All right, let's dodge. Just play a line breaker and attack me, opponent. Not thought not. Oh, no. Now we're cooked. We're cooked now. We are cooked. Doomsday. I'm not going to cycle the Wraith. I'll wait one more turn. Maybe you don't force that, but it's like we have a one-lander with our petals. Here comes Linebreaker. Smash us to the face. We like have to talk deck Doomsday. Oh my god, are we dead? We just dead? Holy shit. Wow. All right. Got crushed by Eldrazi. Wow, that was crazy. Double line breaker into attack for 16. GG's. Our draw, like our opening hands in the first match there were like really, really bad. I could have not force of willed the Chalice on 0, but I also like, I don't know, like if I let it resolve, we probably still just like lose to the line breakers. Like even if I counter the Thought Knot Seer and have a Doomsday in my hand, they can still just like double line breaker, which is probably more than enough when like Street Race our way to crack into the pile. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I'll say the first we kind of mulliganed ourselves not very well in the first game there. Perhaps the right call would have been to mulligan to mulligan to 4 there, but yeah. Be on the play here. There's a possibility that this is one of the guys who runs the Magic Legacy of the North. It is. It is. This is one of the, not Jim Monolith, it's Jim Monolith's right-hand man. Alrighty. I don't know. These hands are so blue. We have Force. I'll keep. I don't know. We've got double Brainstorm. Brainstorm's a good card. We could. I'm just gonna lead on the sewers. Cavern of Souls, huh? That's not quite what we're looking for. I'll bin that and pass. Plains, huh? Okay. Draw Personal Tutor. That ain't a bad one. So we can use the Personal Tutor to shuffle our Brainstorm now. Oh, we just find Doomsday and the land to cast it. We might prefer to tuck the Oracle behind our deck now and just hide Doomsday on top. I think I'm fine with that. If they wasteland me, that's like not good. But then again, they didn't wasteland me last time either. You could say that I wasn't supposed to play this land out. In my head, I was just intending on personal tooting regardless. Archon of Emeria, huh? Jesus Christ. I could just daze this, but it sets me back on the Doomsday. So I think I'm just going to force pitch Personal Tutor. We'll draw, cast Underground Sea, or play Underground Sea rather, cast the Doomsday. And then, well, I kind of just want to go like this. We've got Force plus Daze, so yep. Oh, we play the Misdirection, and then we just get paired against like 3 Ancient Tomb decks in a row. Madness. This is really cool, though. Is this like mono white? The Archon of Cruelty. Look at him. Or no, Emeria. almost as cruel as the Archon of Cruelty, I will say. Oh, sorry, Trevor. I'm just like taking my sweet ass time about it here. This daze might not be good enough. Oh no. Oh no. Each player can't cast more than one spell each turn. Non-basic lands your opponent control enter tapped. Well, we've got 4 cyclers and 1 spell, my friend. Let us just not cast any spells until we put Oracle on the stack. All right. There's the skipper. We are very lucky we didn't get... lucky the Cavern came down for the second Archon and not for the first Archon. Wow, Cavern of Souls. What a busted Magic card. So I reckon they're going to have a bunch of annoying stuff that I probably want my Force of Negation for. We definitely want our Cabal Rituals. We definitely do not want the Misdirections. Daze can sometimes be good against these decks. I might bring in the Charm. Daze can sometimes be good against these sorts of decks. So this is mono white initiative. Let's go like this. All right. Shout out to our opponent, by the way, for facilitating the Legacy of the North League and judging the tournaments instead of playing in them sometimes. Just an all-around baller and good dude, for sure. Well. We need some lands, but we've got a Doomsday and a Force of Will. I'm going to keep. This is where I wish I had 16 lands in my deck, I guess. It's probably too greedy to play 15. 16 seems like a sweet spot. All right, we got the Plains again. We've got a Chrome Mox. Are we going to be countering a... I should have paused to consider whether we wanted to counter this. Voice of Victory. Huh. Well, this turns off the Force anyways, right? So I guess I'll just Force pitch Force on the Voice. Street Wraith. Not quite the skipper we're looking for. Man, this can go south many ways. In fact, I want to maybe play out my LED just to play around Archon. Maybe that's not right, though, because we need an extra card to tuck back with our Brainstorm. So this is going to be the Archon. Human, okay. What have we here? An Anointed Peacekeeper. Man, this matchup kind of feels like a nightmare. It's uncounterable. Obviously, they're going to name Doomsday. I guess I'll fire my Brainstorm in response, though. We might be able to, LED out a Doomsday here, though. I don't know if that'll be good enough. I assume they most certainly name Doomsday. Doomsday's named. Okay. So now I need 5 mana, huh? Okay, let's hold control. Hold control. Cycle Street Wraith. Black. Hold control. Cycle Edge. Crack this for triple black, and then we'll draw 2 cards into the Doomsday, into Lotus Petal. We'll fetch, grab Underground Sea, tap this for a black, and cast Doomsday. And then we're going to Doomsday ourselves to 8 here. We'll take 3. We got to assume, just kind of hope they don't have anything else, maybe. Or we could just go straight down to a Thassa. They could Chalice us on 2. Ooh, we could also build a Quantum Riddler pile here. So Riddler, Thassa, Pact. Riddler draws us into... Or maybe that's crazy if they have an Archon. Maybe that's crazy if they have an Archon. They probably would have cast Archon, though. I'm going to try Riddlering into Pact here. Which means I think we want something like this. Pact of Negation on the bottom. Thassa's Oracle on top. Lion's Eye Diamond. Edge of Autumn. Quantum Riddler. Cast Lotus Petal. Pass the turn. Flute, huh? I hope he names Jace with this. If he names Jace with this, we might have a shot. Okay. Oh no. So if I Riddler here, I draw it. Oh, man, Riddler's going to kill me. Okay, so Riddler draws Cycler plus LED. Then I only have 4 mana. I don't think we can do this. Is there a way we can do this? Oh no, we won't have the Riddler next turn. But we draw the Oracle. I don't think there is. Yeah, because I have the Oracle on top of Pact of Negation. If it was the other way around, we actually have this. Yeah, I'll scoop, right? My goodness. Disruptor Flute, huh? I'll run it back. So the other Cycler pile I was contemplating wasn't going to be good enough either. I mean, this is a turn 2 Doomsday. We'll keep. We'll ponder for force. Would love to ponder for force here. That was such a tough game 2. All right, I'm going to fire ponder on 1 here because finding force of will seems like it would be very good. I suppose we'll have to settle for a fawn. Okay. Petal. Chalice on 1. God. Technically, we can let this resolve. Brainstorm's now shut off. I really wish I was drawing land here, though. I kind of fucked that up. Man, if this Brainstorm was the land. Wow. This is crippling. Thassa's Oracle. Force of Will. Street Wraith. Street Wraith. And then I guess we have to put a land in the pile. Okay. I think we can beat an uncounterable Archon. Clarion Conqueror, huh? Artifacts, creatures, and planeswalkers can't be activated. Yep, I think we've got this then. Cabal Ritual, too strong. Yeah, wonderful. All right, that pile was like a little sketchy. So like, I mean, you can see how complicated this deck is with, was it my Ponder? I decided I wanted to Brainstorm because at the time I had an edge. So like, we could have like edged into a Brainstorm thing, but then they presented the Chalice. I was like, let's let the Chalice go. We have the Cabal Ritual is like what we played to beat Chalice, right? BeExcellent. Crazy. All right. Would you like to play first? Yes. Who knows what BeExcellent will be playing? Misdirection, pitch personal tutor. We're on the play here. Could just lead on sewers. Got a Riddler. I don't know. I'm going to keep this hand. I'm kind of in the business of farting around, maybe. All right, we're on the play here. Like, I could play personal tutor, but I'm just going to cast this this Undercity Sewers tapped. Well, we certainly don't want another one of those. It really sucks that that's on top and the jig is up with that respect, but what can you do? That just sucks. No information being concealed here. We just sit down across from our opponent. Underground Sea. Thoughtseize me. Please Thoughtseize me. Yes. 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 All right. All right. We finally get to do the thing. Let's redirect Thoughtseize at my opponent. All right. Point the Thoughtseize. Oh, so I guess they get to determine what they're discarding. So it's not quite as good as you would like to see, but they've got a Bowmasters and a Tameo in their hands. Okay. Land drop, please. Daze. Not too shabby. I don't want to get Doomsday just yet. What if I just riddle me Timbers? I think I'm fine with riddling here. Maybe Riddler's better served later, but I'm just gonna cycle the old cowboy now. Draw a card. It's a Petal. Oh, all right. Oh, we got to do the thing. For some reason in my head, I thought I get to control the Thoughtseize. Okay. I guess, well, we don't have a second one. They either take Personal Tutor or Daze maybe to resolve their Tamiyo, but they can probably just ignore Daze, right? They've got another land in their hands. They are taking the Daze though, so they are valuing just getting this Tamiyo down. Fair enough. Tamiyo's in like swim. It's just Dark Ritual? Oh. Wait. I guess Dark Ritualing out of Quantum Riddler is not quite what we want to do here. Is it? No. Plop a Doomsday on top of our deck. Pass the turn. Oh, this Orcish Bro man's going to be rather annoying. Oh, wow. Spellbomb. Fascinating. Okay, so maybe they have Force of Will in their hand. So I could send this with Dark Ritual. Yeah. Let's do that, because they could have Daze as well. Okay, so there's a known Bowmaster. I go to 9. Bowmaster puts me to... I go to 9. Bowmaster puts me to 10. Or sorry, to 8. Cycle Street Wraith puts me to 5. Cycle Street Wraith puts me to 2. Well, we want Thassa's Oracle. So if they get Wasteland, then Double Edge is like super sketchy, right? So I go to 9. They're not attacking me. If they have double Bowmasters, I'm cooked if I make the double Street Wraith. So the Wraiths are going to hit me for 6 damage. I go to 9. Go to 8. I take 6. I go to 2. Oh, it's so risky either way. I think I have to put a Consider in this pile, but I'm not sure about that. This is not good, because if he Wastelands me, then I'm like so cooked. I don't like the way I built this pile. 2 unknown cards. I kind of feel like one of them's Daze. They know we have Pact of Negation in our hand. I don't like my pile. But the Bowmaster like exactly kills me, and then they could have like Fatal Push in their hand, right? Like, because it's still game 1, so I think we have to go completely empty. Wasteland probably assuredly kills us. We just really got to hope they don't have Wasteland. I don't like that pile, I don't think. Okay, that bodes well for us. No Wasteland. Okay. Now we lose to like 2 pieces of interaction. Because I went this way. Force of Will, pitch Tamiyo. I guess they're going to have Daze as their last card. I can sense it. So can we beat... Okay, let's just say that we let this go. We take 2, go to 6. Street Wraith puts us to... I feel like they have Daze. Just the way that they've been playing. I'm going to let this go and pass. This could be a mistake. This could be a mistake. All right. All right. I guess I just put the Pact on the stack and say you don't have both things. That was dumb. Okay. 1 more card, huh? Might just cut Quantum Riddler. Maybe that's dumb. I had my sideboard mapping lined up, then I just randomly added 3 misdirections. They seems excellent when we're on the play. All right, 1 misdirection out. That's not correct, but that's what we're doing. We're on the play here. I'll keep this hand. It's not a good hand by any means, but it's got 2 brainstorms, and we can get one of them in before a Bowmaster, so I'm a little upset about that. I think I just packed. Like, yeah. Wow. I'm so bad. I guess we're not going to be Undercity sewering here. they want to thought seize me, we'll just take it. Tamiyo's fine. Next turn, personal tutor's not a bad pickup. I'm gonna fire a brainstorm. Days and maybe island. Let's hope they don't have a daze for this. I'm going to fire it into it, though. It'll at least set them back off Bowmasters. Okay, Tamiyo's coming in. We'll see if they can beat Duress. Well, they can definitely beat Duress. Take Force of Negation, I guess. Then they've got Bowmasters. So I think I just have to pass here. Brainstorm right now. Fluster's a sick pickup. Put the Doomsday on top. Bowman. Bowmastis. We just got to hope they don't draw a blue card here, I guess. It's very likely that they do. Force of Will, pitch Murktide Regent. Flusterstorm. Let's see if they spike a blue card off their clue. Bin, please, bin. Bowmasters to graveyard. Crack clue. I'm going to fetch right now. Okay. Do you have the force? No. So we're going to go to 7 here. Street Wraith will put us to 4. Damn. I don't know if we can win. Shoot. 7. Street Wraith puts me to 4. And then Riddler puts me to dead because of the Bowmasters. So we'll go for Thassa's Oracle, Cavern of Souls, Edge of Autumn. Put a Daze in there. We're going to have to do this with 2 cards left in our deck. So we're going to go to 7. We'll go to 5. We should be fine at 1 here. Daze, Edge, Oracle, Cavern, Edge. Go ahead. I'll have to go for an imperfect pile. I think this is about the best we can do. They've been to Bowmaster. I'm so sad that I didn't just jam in that first game. Like, I calculated whether if they had days we could still win. And the answer was yes, but not if they found another Bowmaster. Or that's at least the thought process that I went through, and I don't know if it was the right thought process or not. Wasteland's not sufficient. There's another way to beat Bowmasters with Jace. Draw a card. Okay. They're looking for that Bowmaster. We can't beat another Bowmaster. That much is true. We also can't beat a Fatal Push or a Brazen Borrower. But this bodes very well for us. I think we've got this one. Go to 1. Wizard. Well, we should be 2-0 here. But you know the Semi. The Semi likes to make it hard for himself. I want to bring back in my Misdirection. I want to cut a Daze. I think being on the draw, it's possible I'll cut 2 Dazes being on the draw and bring one of my Force of Wills back in, but 2-for-1ing myself against this deck is just so bad. So like Vision Charm is a way to beat Bowmasters as well. I kind of don't, you know what? Fuck it. Let's not play Force of Will. Let's bring in Vision Charm. All right. A little juicy technology. Duress doesn't hit Bowmasters is pretty sad as well. Okay. We'll keep our hands. We're a cantrip away from a turn 2 Doomsday with a couple of other things. If I wasn't a coward, you know, I have to remember, fear is the mind killer, right? I'm sure someone was like, Semi, fear is the fucking mind killer, you idiot. Pact of Negation, the Force. All right, I like to see a Ponder, not a Tamiyo. I don't know that I'm going to duress my opponent right off the bat here. I think I want to get one of my Pondies in. 4 cards in hand, though. They kept it, though. Or am I supposed to duress them here? Wraith is a sweet draw. I could also just pass. Oof. This is tough. This is really tough. I think... Like, what do we want to Thoughtseize? I don't think I want to duress them here. I actually think I'm just going to deploy my Ponder. Because these cards aren't good against Bowmasters. Oof, this is kind of risky, isn't it? I think we'll keep it, though. Wasteland is like, we really don't want to see Wastelands. Is this Thoughtseize? Okay. Maybe they take Dark Ritual. Maybe they take Flusterstorm. Our hand's like pretty sick. Our mana is the pinch spot, though. This is a hard Thoughtseize. They only have 3 cards in their hand. They took Dark Ritual, recognizing that mana is our choke point. If they Thoughtseize me again and take Brainstorm, that will be interesting. This is a Tamiyo. Yeah. Another Duress. Well, I'm not ready. I kind of want to play this Brainstorm now. Oh, Jesus. Brainstorm back and maybe Duress back. Play Lotus Petal. Personal Tutor. I'll put Doomsday on top of the deck. Pass the turn. Opponent has 2 cards left and a Tamiyo. Oh, Magic is so hard, folks. Magic is so hard. Okay. Are they clue cracking here? They're not Murktiding. What the fuck is this? Draw 2 cards, then discard a card. When a dragon you control enters... That's fucking gassy. That is gas-filled. Sick. So they get to flip the Tamiyo, which is going to let them... Discarding Thoughtseize. Flipping Tamiyo. Plussing Tamiyo. Okay. Well, if they're hiding a consign... I think I just want to put Doomsday onto the stack. Because if I duress them and they have consign, they can rebuy consign. So I think I like to use Flusterstorm to protect the pile and then duress to probe the consign. Force of Will, pitch Force of Will. Well, let's Fluster. Do you have days now? I do not have days now. God, this is tough. This is so tough, isn't it? Okay, so they're going to Tamiyo. They're going to return Thoughtseize. They'll Thoughtseize me. I can Street Wraith in response to put Cavern into my hand. They'll take Duress. Okay, so I think I want Cavern. Or maybe I want Riddler. Cavern... Thassa's Oracle, Duress, Petal, draw Cavern, draw Riddler for turn. Is this absurd? Or is there a clearer way to do this? guess I could put Jace in my pile as well. And then like, oh, but then they can bring back Force of Will. Oh my gosh, this Tamiyo is so complicated. I'm not 100% sure if this is right. This can't be right. We're going to go Jace on the bottom. Oracle, Street Wraith, Cavern, go. We'll see. We'll see what they want to buy back with their Tamiyo, I guess. Oh, okay, so they've got one card in hand. They played a Scalding Tarn. We just got to hope they don't have Consign plus... We just got to hope they don't have Consign in their hand, basically. Okay, they're fetching. Undercity Sewers? Do they know what we have? They do know we have this Street Wraith. Okay. Brainstorm to bin. That won't do. Well, now we're not getting Thought Seized. Oh, okay. Oh, I see. And they're going to return. I think we got them. I think we got them. Draw Cavern. Cycle Wraith. Cycle Wraith. Duress you. Take your Force of Will. Play Cavern of Souls. Name Wizard. And there we go. All right, hard mode. That was a sick match. I tanked so long. That was, yeah, so basically the reason I was taking so long there was like I was trying to figure out how to beat. So like if their last card is consigned to memory and they grab Thoughtseize off the top, became very, very challenging. And then our last cards were, it was like Jace and another Duress, and the Jace should have been on top of the Duress for sure, but the Murktide kills us anyways, so yeah, absolute madness. Oh my goodness, that was so exciting. And I threw the first game too. It shouldn't have even had to come to that. Wow. All right, I need to take a quick breather here, and then we'll be back for the last round. All righty. Fifth and final round here. No clue what Tantic plays. Not going to look because I can't look them up at Eternal Weekend. Oh, this hand's one mana source away from a Doomsday, and we're on the draw with Force plus Daze. This is also like Surveil Land action. I think this is a pretty clear keep, and so we shall. Really wish this was a misdirection in case they were a Thought Seizing us. We might have to Force of Will a Thought Seize. Oh, Windswept Teeth. You never know how to feel when you see it. It could be like Nadu. It's a pretty good draw, folks. Yeah, let's pass a Reno. The old misty. Okay, opponent didn't take, like, they didn't go, ooh, breakfast? Is this breakfast? Kishless Skimmer, huh? I'll get the Sewers in response. I don't think I want to daze this. Misdirection. I think I put it into the graveyard. We'll just let it go. Draw for turn. Another land. We were kind of hoping... Well, I guess the land's not that bad here. Do some of these things. We get to fetch for free here, so we'll take it. Grab Underground Sea. We'll cast the Namesake. Okay. So now we can, like, we've got Daze plus Force of Will. We could take Cavern of Souls, or we could just take Pact of Negation over Cavern as our last card. They can't double wasteland us as far as I'm aware. I think I want to Pact them as the last card. I don't believe we're getting double wastelanded. We can Force of Will a Bowmasters. I'll take Pact in this spot, I believe. Maybe I'm crazy. Oracle on the bottom. Go Edge on top. I think I'll go Wraith, Pact like this. Because then we also have access to double Force if they don't present Wasteland. And if it makes it to our upkeep and they decide to like endurance us at like a weird spot, we'll have the pact in hand. I also just don't really want them to know about pact, so yeah. Kishla Skimmer. Some Stryfo nonsense. I love to see it. This card's so sick. Yo, Bloomburrow's so sick. Or that's Dragonstorm. Kind of looks like a Bloomburrow card to me. Brainstorm, that's fine. Snow-covered forest. Draw. Play out Underground Sea. Edge. Wraith. Wraith. Edge. Oracle. Endurance. Pact of Negation. All right. So yeah, in this spot, so like whenever endurance is like in the cards, I believe, and especially when you have like another piece of interaction in your hand, I think it makes sense to go for Pact of Negation over Cavern of Souls, as documented there. We did show them that we had Pact. They're probably a Thoughtseize deck, but I don't know that we want Misdirections here. Like, it's possible our Flusterinos are just better than our Misdirections. And then I guess we want Vision Charm potentially to beat Endurance, though it's probably not even that necessary, and potentially some number of Duresses as well, if not all of them. We're on the draw, so I actually don't mind cutting a couple of our Dazes being on the draw. I think we can pretty safely cut a Ponder. I kind of want to hold on to our Force of Wills here, though, is the thing. We are bringing in decent amount of items, though. But Force is so good against Endurance. Like, I think I want to just have 4 Forces in my deck. Pact of Negation's good against Endurance, too. It's possible Vision Charm's too goofy. I'll bring Dazes back in on the... I'll bring some more Dazes back in on the play, but I think we'll run it like this. Okay. Yeah, we'll keep this hand. This hand seems pretty sweet. Savannah into Molt Tinder. So yeah, like, I mean, our opponent's going to be assembling a crazy card advantage engine. Kind of hate to see Personal Tutor here, to be totally honest. I think we'll Underground Sea. We'll duress them just to kind of get a sense of the sorts of things we have to deal with here. Natural Order and Endurance. Well, we'll take Natural Order. Okay, we're going to have to beat some number of the big skippers. Really hoping we can... Okay, so they got an Unknown. They've been to Molt Tinder. Probably send for 1. Double Endurance is pretty annoying. Well, let's brainstorm. Well, the brainstorming's good. How good's LED here? Grab Doomsday. Send it back. Tinder's in. Doomsday for turn. We'll cast Lotus Petal. Cast Doomsday. So now they could Endurance us. So we're going to go... We're going to 8 here. Endurance and end step. Attack us for 4. We get 1 Street Wraith cycle. What happened? Okay, so we have to expect that we're at 4 here. Street Wraith puts us to 2. Force of Will puts us to 1. We're like dead to Wasteland if we try to beat it with a Force. So we could go Oracle. There's so many things we could do, right? Oracle, Underground Sea, maybe. We could even Quantum Riddler. What if we Riddler? God damn, this is so annoying. Like, I don't even know what to do. There's just so many options at our disposal here. What about something like this? I might even just put the Riddler in here in case things go south. Put Jace on the bottom. I don't know if Vision Charm's enough here. This was embarrassing. I kind of lost my train of thought. Are they going to flash in an Endurance here is the question. They didn't. Okay. Now they're brainstorming. Green Sun Zenith for 3. Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Oh. Oh no. Play this on Wizard. They've got 2 Endurances in their hand. I guess I screwed this up. I needed one more. Okay. I might have gotten too cute here, folks. I may have gotten too cute here. So Quantum Riddler is not going to draw me a card. Just cast Thassa's Oracle. Trigger on the stack. They will Endurance. They will shuffle. Cast this. I'll cast Vision Charm. Mill 4. Put the Oracle trigger back on the stack and take the game. All right. Sorry. We got there after a malfunction on the old computer. The good old 4-1 with the Dark Ritual Doomsday. You love to see it. That was a little sloppy at the end there. I screwed that. I screwed that one up just slightly. I was supposed to have one more cycler so that we could have done the Oracle thing a turn too soon. I don't know. That was just like one of those spots where I had like 100 different possible lines, and actually the Vision Charm actually like worked out really nicely against the Leovold. So that was pretty awesome. Honestly, guys, this deck is sweet. I honestly don't know that we need to play Misdirections. I honestly also don't know how good Quantum Riddler actually is. Like part of me just wants to go back to running just the 4 Street Wraiths and say like poo-poo to these cards. We like cut these 4 cards for 2 more Street Wraiths. Maybe a 16th land, though honestly the lands didn't punish us that hard today, or like 2 Thoughtseizes. But then the Riddler is cool. I don't know how to use the Riddler good enough. That's my issue. I have the Riddler in the deck, and then like I just never use it because I'm like too scared to use it, or I've like can't quite use it because of a Bowmaster. So I don't know how to think about that. Again, the Hydroblast never came up. It was a bit of a bizarre league to start out, but I think the match against BeExcellent was like very much worthwhile. Lot to be learned from that match. I think I probably made a couple of errors as well. 5 rounds in here, my mind jumbled up a little bit, making the piles in the last match as well, but we still managed to fight our way to a 4-1, and that was like pretty close to a 5-0, right? Like we got pretty unlucky with our like opening hands in the first round against Eldrazi. We didn't know that they were on Eldrazi, and we kept kind of like a dirtlier hand that might have been fine. It was a 5, right? We could have gone to 4, but it's hard to beat Eldrazi from 4 too. We fought against some diverse array of hate. I think we showcased the power of Cabal Ritual in this league, like using that in 3 of our matchups. I really like having access to the rituals, like the fact that you can go like this with your mana against like all ancient tomb decks and decks where you want to go fast. You just go up to 10 rituals seems, or like 10 mana sources seems great to me. These Duresses were still awesome too. It's possible we could be playing 4 Thoughtseizes, but you saw how close our life total was, right? Against blue-black tempo there, where the fact that these are Duresses I think is really good. Force of Negations, still fine. We finally got to Vision Charm our opponent, and I just think Flusterstorm's like the Nutter Butters. There might even be a world where we're supposed to like play 3 Duress and 4 Flusterstorm to fight against these blue-black decks. But it is also nice garnering information about what to play around. That's like the biggest downside with this deck, with like no Thoughtseize in the main deck. You just kind of like you have to guess, right? You have to make way more abductions than you would if you had Thoughtseize. So yeah, I mean, I do like to abduce a pile, but sometimes it's nice to just to deduce the pile rather, and that is not afforded when you do not have access to ways to look at your opponent's hands. Rest in peace, Gitaxian Probe. Although we did get to Gitaxian Probe our opponent, where they had to pay 2 life and go down 2 cards. The Misdirection on the Thoughtseize was sweet, but I don't know that you want to run these Misdirections in your main deck, like 3 of them when you're like queuing into like Ancient Tomb decks and stuff. It's possible, you know, these could be Flusterstorms. They could be, which like at least have text against Kozilek's Command and certain things that these Ancient Tomb decks could play. But I don't know. Misdirection's pretty sweet. I'm not going to lie. I'm glad we got to do the combo, the Misdirect Your Thoughtseize combo. I will say, though, in my head, and this is like a really dumb thought to have, but I actually thought that I get to choose what I discard. And obviously that's not the case. We just redirect the target and they control the spell. So they get to choose. I mean, it's still great. You 2 for 2 them, but it's like way better if you get to choose, obviously. But it's not Commandeer. Commandeer would let us gain control of the Thoughtseize, which would be excellent. But yeah, so this is where things are at right now. Like you've noticed that, like, I mean, if I can identify flex slots for the deck, I would say currently the flex slots in the main deck are these 4 cards. And then the flex slot in the sideboard is this Hydroblast. I'm pretty happy with all the other cards in my sideboard at this particular juncture. I think it gives you a nice, like, pretty straightforward way to fight against all the decks that you need to fight against in this format, right? So when you're against blue, right? So you can almost think about it like you have your, this is like your blue package, right? This is your combo killer hard control package where you like cut your threats, namely you like replace your personal tutors for Force of Negations, and then still go up like this. You just slow down into this like deck that has 3 Flusterstorms, 4 Duress, 4 Force of Negation, 4 Days, and 4 Force of Will, plus 3 Misdirection against some combo decks. Like that's just insane, right? You've got your Ancient Tomb package right here. And what I like about this sideboard too is like you're noticing now some degree of crossover, right? So like the Ancient Tomb cards are also good against Chalice, or are also good against combo decks and so on. And you've got your Ancient Tomb package right here. And then you've got your Silver Bullet in the form of Vision Charm and your answer to Hydroblast. These come in certain Ancient Tomb matchups depending, right? So Red Prison, you probably want both. But then you can also see that Vision Charm can actually be potent as a demonic consultation against endurance decks and also against Bowmasters and Leovold. So that's nice. Yeah. So like that's kind of the pillars, right? You've got blue, combo, Ancient Tomb, and your sideboard is blue, combo, Ancient Tomb. So those are the kinds of cards you want to be bringing in those matchups. When it comes to like what you want to be boarding out in those matchups, well, Misdirections, like not good against Ancient Tomb. It's good against some combo decks, but maybe not all. Like you probably don't want Misdirections maybe against Show and Tell, although they are a heavy counter magic deck, so maybe you still want it there. You don't want your Force of Wills against blue-black because they're already Thoughtseizing you, and then to like 2 for 1 yourself after is like so bad. So you'd prefer to have your like Flusterstorms in over your Force of Wills for blue. you see that I'm not really scared, or I haven't been scared to like cut a ponder. I rarely ever cut personal tutors. I'll cut personal tutors against combo because there I just want to stop them from winning, and then like we'll eventually find our Doomsday. And so like the thought is, right, like against combo, you want to be able, you want your ponders in your deck because they can get you either ways to keep you from dying or ways to your Doomsday or your combo, right? So we want our ponders. But if we're playing against like mono red Stompy, I actually want to cut my ponders. And I cut my ponders against mono red Stompy. You can see the swap like this. You put Force of Negations in. You probably cut like Consider, but I'm going to keep personal tutors because like I might only get to cast one mana spell in a game, and so I want my 1 mana spell against like mono red Stompy particularly to get my Doomsday right away so that I can put it on the stack with a Cabal Ritual. Whereas where I'm against a combo deck, I don't want to go down a card to personal tutor. I would rather put my ponder on the stack and then like either find like a second Force of Will, a Duress, or whatever it is. Yeah, so I want to keep personal tutors in almost all cases just because we're not playing creatures, and these are our 8 threats. So like the core of the deck that I've been trying not to like screw with too much in sideboarding are like these cards. This is like the core of the deck. And so I try not to go down too much on these cards, though like trimming cyclers when you want to slow down isn't a bad idea. Yeah, that's all I've got to say right now. That's just like at least some of the ways in which like some people were asking in the comments about sideboarding, and like I'm not the best at I mean, like you probably have watched me play before. I'm not the best at sideboarding, like I'll be completely honest. I know that one of the things that I learned a lot from Kai last year when I got coaching from him before EW was like we mostly just focused on sideboarding, because I was finding at least last year that I was like winning a lot of my game 1s and then like losing game 2s and 3s. And I think I was losing game 2s and 3s in part because I was like, you know, cutting like a personal tutor, and now I can't find my Doomsday, or going down too far on cyclers because it feels really easy to be like, oh, I'll trim on some cyclers. But then you're like, oh no, I have to like be consigned to memory and Thoughtseize in the same turn. Having a cycler in your hand really helps to that end. So yeah, this is where things are at right now. Flex slot in the sideboard, Hydroblast. Flex slot in the main deck are Misdirections. But I think we're getting close to something serviceable, and I'm just going to keep kind of tinkering around with these numbers and seeing what's up. I'll think a little bit more about like individual sideboarding and try to figure out, right, like I think what we'll do is maybe we'll do like a sideboarding video where we'll go through like the MTG Goldfish page, and we'll first determine like for each matchup how many cards we want to remove in that matchup, and then we'll try to construct a sideboard that allows us to slot cards in equal to the number of cards we would like to remove in each matchup. So I'm not sure when that will happen. I'm not sure if I'll have it ready or if I want to make like all my sideboarding technology public before Eternal Weekend. But we'll see. I don't plan on like selling the sideboard guide. I don't think, like I'm just going to create it. I mean, I'm not 100% sure. I don't really feel like I know enough about Doomsday to sell anything. And so I'll probably make like a public document where we can then garner like communal feedback about like what you want to be cutting and putting in certain matchups. Because I do believe that, you know, any one person is not near as good as a community of minds. At least that's what the philosopher Charles Sanders Peirce tells us. Individuals are only negations of what a greater community of inquirers would think. And so, yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm getting a phone call here. So we're going to wrap up the video. Thank you so much for coming along. I'm happy to have got a 4-1 for once in a blue moon, it seems. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you again for supporting the channel. I'm having an absolute blast. And it might just be Doomsday all the way down until October. I might throw a little cutter action in there once or twice, but I think it's we're going to be serious about Doomsday. And so thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. And we'll see you all again very soon. Cheers.